Hello there and welcome. I'm Cindy Daycheck with Queen Bee Creations, and thanks for joining me. I'm kind of looking at what we're going to be doing here, and I'm not decided. So here's what I've got. It's like this big, oh, and apples are falling. So it's this big stand. It's got this cool finial on the top, cone, tired, old-looking apples and leaves here, metal base. I think it could look really cool. I don't know what the heck I'm doing with it yet. I'm kind of filming and hoping that it comes to me. But the first thing that I'm doing is I am looking to pull off all of this old tired stuff. Now it has a grapevine wreath that is attached down in there. So I'm just looking at pulling out what I can pull out before I start cutting out whatever I can't, just to get a closer look at things. Oh, that baby's in there. Okay, let's take these out. Oh. Okay, some of these are in there really well. Okay, so when they won't come or it's going to cause too much damage to get it out, just cut them off. Now I will say, I save all these decor pieces unless they are in really horrendous shape. Like these little kind of coated styrofoam balls, often in older pieces have, the color has started to chip off of them. So, you know, let's face it, we're not going to spend time repainting those suckers, so just get rid of them. But, you know, the apples and some of these little picks, totally reusable, likely need a clean to perk them up a little bit, but those, you could repaint those if you needed them, spray them a gold or a silver perhaps if you needed in a Christmas project, I mean, whatever you got going. So a lot of times I will take apart different arrangements and then just reuse the elements in other things or in other ways, and so nothing is a total and complete loss usually. There's always something. There we go. This is going faster now. I got the hang of it. Okay, this baby's got to go. Okay, and these guys have to get cut. All right, so you can already see kind of the shape that it is. Now, this styrofoam is covered in a fabric. You know, kind of got a little bit of that French kind of look to it more than anything else. You know, so this wreath, not in bad shape, and likely is going to be easier if I'm putting greenery around here to be able to attach to it than just the base. So it's all wrapped down and attached. I'm not going to detach that. I'm going to leave that there because it's going to make my life easier. But you can see looking up here, this is just a big foam core. So I'm thinking I'm going to leave the fabric on as well because it just kind of provides some additional reinforcement. It's a lot easier to glue elements onto the fabric than onto the styrofoam as well. And I'm thinking that I'll be going that route. So the first thing that I'm going to do is give this a bit of a wipe down and a clean now that I can see it all. And I'm going to take my DIY paint and beadboard and I'm going to paint all of the base and the finial. And then distress them and seal them so that they're all done. But I don't know what I'm doing with the rest. So I'm unsure of this. Okay, I don't have a clue. So I'm going to, it's the way it goes. I don't know yet. So I'm gonna paint the fabric too. I'm gonna paint all of this white, this white, this white. I'm not gonna bother trying to paint out the grapevine white. I'm just gonna paint the metal base all white because I am gonna be attaching greenery of some kind. And I'm filming this right in around Christmas time. So I am thinking of turning it into Christmas decor rather than just everyday decor. So I will be doing some Christmas greenery. I just haven't decided what I'm doing with this yet. So I'm gonna clean it up with some white paint. So here's what I'm doing. Cleaning, painting, 2 coats, beadboard from DIY, distressing the metal, sealing with wax. You're gonna see me doing it. Now you know what the heck is happening. All right, so I'm gonna start cleaning and then I'm gonna get painting. You saw me paint this out, 2 coats. I then lightly distressed it, both some dry sanding and some wet distressing, and then I sealed it. I chose to use the big top, the DIY big top, because I came up with a plan. And I decided that what I wanted to do was keep the main part of this fairly neutral, and then add in, because it's Christmas time that I'm filming this, I'm gonna add in some Christmas greenery here, but with the idea that if, because I'll put this in my shop, so if it doesn't sell over Christmas, I can remove the Christmas greenery and zhuzh it up for a different occasion. Maybe just make it into neutral home decor. So I'm gonna keep this fairly neutral. And I sealed it with the big top because I'm not sure how well this is going to stick. But I'm going to take some of the elements from the Iron Orchid Design Winter Song wreath. So the wreath has this big wreath section in it, but it also has on the pad, it has these corner sections. So I cut out all those corner sections. If you buy this in the old format, which is the tube, you just get the wreath. You don't get those corner sections. So just saying, it's a little bit more money, but you get more transfer. And that works perfect because then I still have the wreath. So what I'm thinking of doing is rubbing these on kind of with this look. And I think it's gonna be easier if I cut these last little segments off, and then I've got some flexibility to add them in wherever I want. Now, you know that this was fabric, and I have successfully done transfers on fabric, but it's fairly flat. This is a little bit textured, it's rough, and even with being sealed. So I wanted to seal it with the big top because that will help this adhere better, but I still don't know how well it's gonna work. I don't think that I have enough of this to cover the whole thing, so I do have the possibility of cutting into my wreath. I do have some of the old classic pots. It now comes in a transfer as well with some white ones and some blue ones. Beautiful, beautiful. But I've got the old one, and I might do maybe some words up at the top to kind of fill in. I don't know. It all hinges on whether this first transfer sticks or not. and it's a bit of a crapshoot. And especially too, I can't squish all that hard on this. It's got that styrofoam underneath, and I don't want that to rub off. And y'all get to experiment along with me. I figure the worst thing that happens is only some of it sticks, then it looks like hell, and then I sand it and I repaint and I come up with a different idea. But y'all might as well come along with me on the journey, because there are going to be times that you'll be in your head thinking, I wonder if that would work. And you can learn from some of my experimenting. Why the heck not? It's not seeming to work down there, but we'll see. Oh, my hands just aren't big enough to fit around this to hold it in place. Okay, some of this at the bottom is sticking. All right, let's go with the direction that's sticking. No. Yes. Okay, cool. I think that doing it, I mean, I could have taken like a floral transfer or something like that, but I just really wanted something that was going to be sort of, okay, maybe not dramatic is not the right word, but a little bit more on the neutral side, with the greenery being what it is, and easy to switch out some of the greenery then from season to season as well. So if somebody does buy it and doesn't want to keep it just for Christmas, then they can just add in more neutral ferns and things like that. Because sometimes you just don't want to store all the things, right? I will say this is an awkward shape to do this on. Okay, I'm missing. Yes. So I think that's going to look really pretty. I'm going to do kind of around the base first and then see how far I take it up. But I like the look of it kind of climbing up. And right now I'm thinking I'm not doing any of the pots things or the words. I'm just liking this kind of look. Okay, perfect. So we know it works. I will seal over this again. Just to protect it, I'll put the big top, just one quick coat, because it's not something that people are really going to be fondling like I am right now. So I'm going to carry on and put the rest of these around the bottom. Again, I'm going to cut this piece off so that I can create some little movements with the little piece that I cut off, however I want. And then seal it, and I'll come back at you when we start looking at doing some of the greenery, but I'm so excited. I love it when things work. They don't always. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna carry on, and I'll come back at you when it's done. Yay! This is all of our transfer done. So I've transferred it, and I did do a coat of the big top over top. Big top, liquid patina, big top. So I did do a coat of the big top over top, and now what we need to do is look at decorating the bottom. And what I need to do is shift you down so you won't see the top, but you'll see the bottom, which is what I'm going to be working on anyway. So that's what you need to see. Okay, there we go. Now, what I do have is I have these big, let me see, this is them. Big sprigs from the dollar store. So they have about 3 kind of sprig branches on them and one little pine cone. And so I've cut them into those three, and the pine cones are separate. And all that I'm looking at doing is laying them around the diameter of this. So what I'm thinking is, because they're gonna be, I'm gonna hot glue them down, they're gonna be easy enough to remove if you need to. So you can see that this is really pretty neutral. You could dress it up with springtime flowers. You could do just ferns and greenery and have it be kind of an all year neutral. So I'm gonna do it up a little bit for Christmas with some of this greenery, but you could certainly replace this or choose to do it with a neutral. And if you did it with more just kind of greenery and ferns, maybe some lamb's ear and, you know, whatever little things you had, you could then just tuck in some berries at Christmas time and some pine cones and then remove them. Tuck in some eggs at Easter time and have it switch around through your decor. So really versatile to be able to find something like this and just kind of be able to make it your own. But I'm just going to be taking these pieces and gluing them around. So if my hot glue gun is hot, we can kind of get a move on. And I'm not too worried about the glue showing, because I'm going to be overlapping these in such a way that you're never going to see them anyway. I'm going to save the pine cones for the end to be able to tuck in if I decide that I need something more. And I do want to have my greenery so that it's kind of hanging a little bit, right? So it's kind of draping over the edge, so it's not staying perfectly tight to this. Now, I will say this particular gun and this particular glue seems to be slow setting. It is like a heavy duty one, but it's not. It seems to be a very quick drying. I think I might be too impatient for this glue. Hard to believe, I know, but I might have to switch it out for the faster drying one, because I'm just thinking I don't have time in my life for this glue gun. Maybe I just need to use less and trust in the glue more. All right, let me let this one harden and then I'll show you what I'm doing, because the rest is going to be much the same. So you can see here where I've just got them kind of hanging out. I'm going to go around in a spiral on this, so you know, I can take some of them back in a little bit closer if I need to, but for right now I'd like it to have a little bit more diameter to it. So I know that you guys aren't going to be going out to your local thrift store and finding a piece exactly like this, but what I hope this inspires you to is, when you see some of those really old, tired, dusty, kind of beat up pieces, is to nab them and then start thinking about how you can switch it up, how you can clean it up, give it a crisper look, a little bit more up-to-date look, and be able to build it into your decor. So more than anything else, that's what I'm hoping from this video, is that you get an idea of how you can switch some of these things up to include them into your decor. I'm going to continue gluing and holding these in place and get my greenery around the base. I will take some close-up pictures so you'll see it all finished. Once that glue has settled in and is holding everything in place. But thanks for tuning in. I hope this gave you some inspiration, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.